Oli Olis, hi, I'm Jose, also known as Josena Juan. With me today is
Melissa.
aka Malexa, and welcome to That's a Dude in a Dress podcast. So let's go straight into it, honey. I know. Look, I was on live and we were talking about toxic traits, and I feel like not everybody has that, but I
feel like everybody has. Whether it'd be a lot, it'd be medium. But I think everybody has it.
Like to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I do have toxic traits.
I do too.
Okay, so I don't look, when I was younger, I was like, no, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. You could do whatever you want. But the reality is, no, I don't think so. Like, okay, so let's talk about one of my first ones is jealousy.
Oh yeah.
You are too?
No, I'm not. I mean, I am to a certain extent.
I was like, what the fuck?
No. I am to.
Sorry, there's a fly.
I am to a certain extent, but you go first.
So, okay, I have a couple of experiences in my past where this is something I want to deal with a counselor and just therapists in general.
Okay.
But I think it stems from like why my mom was in and out of jail.
Okay.
And also where like my mom wasn't ever present.
Okay.
And so I think the jealousy comes from like whenever, for example, I remember an ex wanting to go out and go have fun with his friends.
Okay.
But in me, I was like, why do you want to leave? Why can't I go? I felt abandoned.
Okay.
And I didn't understand like what was going on in my head. All I thought is, what the fuck? Why do you want to go by yourself? Because you want to go see some other vatos and blah, blah, blah.
So because you thought he might cheat, or because it's just your fear of not like being there?
So this one could have cheated too, but honestly, I think it was an internal fight.
Okay.
Because I remember I said yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, he went with his friends. But it took every single thing in me to fight it, to call him, to ask him, what are you doing? Where are you? Who are you with? Because in my head, I'm like thinking the worst thing. Mm-hmm. And it's not because he was doing something like where I thought, oh, he's cheating. No, it's because in my head, I was fighting the fight of, does he not want me? Why can't I go with him? I feel alone.
When you had already said yes, though.
Yes, yes. But I told myself, I have to. But
so
little
you're
did he...
yourself out.
Yes, but it was like an internal fight, constant. While he was gone for like a few hours, but those few hours felt like eternity.
Okay.
And this is back in the day where I was like, what the fuck? I can't do this. I was like, I need to know. Like, where's he with? That's what I was fighting with in my head.
I was just like, dang. I'm all trying to picture the scenario in my head. I'm like, I Jose. No, putting yourself through that.
It's but I also wanted to give the chance of having that relationship where I was like, look, just go have fun. Right? Mm-hmm. You also deserve to be away from me because I know I'm a lot, honey. But the reality, okay, bitch, that's enough. But no, it's the real. That's something I fight with. You?
I'm not jealous. I wouldn't say I'd be jealous, but I think I'm more of not getting the attention.
What do you mean?
So meaning like if I feel like the person that I'm with is giving more attention to the friends or the going out or the partying and not me, that's where I tend to start in my head, well, I'm not good enough.
Oh, so you want priority. You want to be a priority.
Yeah, I want to be a priority. So that's where then jealousy kicks in and I'm like, well, why am I not good enough? Why can I be that person for you? Or why do you have to go party? Or why do you have... I used to be like that. Now it's more like because I'm that, because I've been single for so long that I like going and hanging out. I like going and having dinner and going out with friends, that now I can understand that sometimes you do need to have that separation. It's healthy.
Yes, it is.
Because if you're always together, which some couples can, I just can't because
Yeah, me too.
men, well, the men that I've been with, I get on my nerves.
But
Especially
I
the
think
last one.
having like a little bit of space is healthy,
It's
right?
very healthy. I feel even in friendships, like even if
Ugh.
you're like with your like you just need a break from your friends because you're with them all the time. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'll hang out with you, and then I'll go hang out with Rosa by ourselves, or I'll go hang out with my work bestie. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's healthy to have different types of energy, different types of vibes. So you're able to feed off of this person for this reason and this person for this reason. So
I
I feel like it's the same for relationships.
I
At
think
least.
that's what I'm a little afraid of is that now that because I've been single like you for a very long
Hmm.
time, not as long as you, but I'm getting close to it, right?
I know.
And to me, I feel like it's the opposite mentality now.
Okay.
Now I want to be left alone from time to time.
Hmm.
Like there are times I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to
Hmm.
hang out with Rosa. I just want to be by
Hmm.
myself.
And then there's that.
Yes, but it's because in my head I'm like I need to have that me time to
Hmm.
at least unwind. Because at least that when I'm by myself, the only one I'm fighting with
Is
is me.
yourself, yeah.
Yes, and so when I was talking about toxic traits, that is something I noticed that I think it's being abandoned when I was younger,
Hmm.
having an issue as to how I brought it onto my relationships. I noticed that I brought it not only in one but a few relationships.
Okay.
I was so needy to the point where I wanted to be around them every 5 seconds
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
if they were to leave, I felt like they weren't.
Hmm.
There was something I wasn't doing right,
Yep.
and that's just one.
I was needy with the first one, very needy,
Yeah.
because that was the first person who paid attention and who actually wanted to spend time with me. So I was super needy. That's why I'm like, oh, that person that I was then is not now, and I'm just like, man, if you were to like meet me now, you'd probably be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're completely
I'm
different.
completely different
So,
from.
what's another trait?
Um, I I can go 0 to 100 in like an argument.
Oh, I've seen it
Yeah.
before. Yes.
Yeah, I can, like, if I feel like you're not there now, I think I should take the time and
Yes.
let us process it. But
I think you're starting to. You have to give yourself a little bit of credit because I think you're starting to do that even with me.
because
Because before,
after the conversation you and I had, I was just like, okay, we'll
because
work on
one
it.
time we
Yeah.
got on each other's nerves, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to react. You could tell it was really tense
Yeah.
for like a day or two, whatever.
Yeah.
But when we sat down, I think I made a joke, right?
No, I think you said it without us even having a conversation. It just kind of came out,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't want to fight all the time. I don't want to
Yeah.
have to argue with you all the time. Like, it makes it uncomfortable. Like, I fought. You went into this whole thing of like, having to argue and fight and so
Yeah.
on and so forth, and you're like, I'm not in that place anymore. And I was like, okay, well, I really
And
thought
I do
about
joke
it.
around
Yeah.
with you a lot that I
Mhm.
think sometimes you forget that I'm really like if I yell at
I do. Over pizza, stuffed crust pizza. Mind you, here's the challenge.
Wait.
So he needs to no. So he needs to lose weight because he.
But that I was joking. But look,
I knew you
no,
were. That's why.
but I was mad when she was real smooth.
With the plate.
I bought to make grilled cheese, and I don't make grilled cheese with Kraft. I make grilled ass fucking cheese. Like I will watch a tutorial, make sure that I'm doing it correctly, and then I cook it. Well, I bought the good ass sourdough. I bought good ass cheese. I bought tomatoes, soup for me, broccoli, and cheese for her.
Ooh, sounds
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's how thorough I was. But this bitch walked into sorry, we're going into a tangent, but this bitch walked in from work. Fair enough. Walked into the kitchen.
Tenía hambre.
I know, and she did. She came back
With
with
the plate. I was like,
3 slices of stuffed crust pizza and pepperoni. That, if you know me, know that that is my fucking ultimate favorite. One of my favorite meals from Pizza Hut is that it's stuffed crust, hand tossed, and it's pepperoni.
Yeah.
You know that if we're around the other best friend, that we wouldn't have that regular schmegler, whatever. It would be like thin crust and caca. But not stuffed crust. Ooh, as soon as I walked in, she was like, hey, I have to tell you a story. And I think you took like a bite and it said, what are you doing?
Mind you, the lights were off, so it's kind of dim in the living room.
It is.
So I was like, he saw it.
I was like, what are you eating? Is that stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut? I was so mad.
It's for Little Caesars. He's like, okay, you're fine. And then, of course.
Oh, yeah, you said Little Caesars. And then your daughter said,
no, she's not you.
It's from Pizza Hut.
I was like, I was trying not to hurt your feelings, but yeah. You always like, oh shit, he big man.
I was mad because that's one of my favorite.
But I honestly didn't think it was one of like your ultimate favorites. I just thought, okay, he likes it.
No, it's one of my favorites.
Well, no, I know.
But no. Look, but that to me is the thing that I, joking, right? I'll yell and do whatever.
I don't know because of the tone of your voice.
Oh, yeah. There's it's so weird, right?
Yeah.
I noticed in my past relationships, besides being really needy and being wanted, I also have a habit of being too present.
Okay. What?
And by too present, I mean being available to the point that I forget what I want.
Okay. Yeah. You get lost in the relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes with being submissive.
Okay.
I'm very submissive in my relationships, and that's something that I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to be part of being submissive where I lose myself.
Yeah.
You know how you see these relationships online and you see them, they're like, oh my God, a couple, and that's it. That's all she posts, not him. She, oh my God, we're together, we're so happy. Look, we're having a vineyards, we're having wine. Oh my God, we're holding hands. It's that shit that drives me crazy too, but
the fakeness of it or just submissive of it? So
I think that's two separate ones, right?
Yeah.
I'm very submissive in a relationship that's why I'm scared to be in another one.
Same.
Because I don't want my world to be part of just his.
And it's hard because that's where you get to know each other and you kind of have to put in the work. And that's where it's just like, damn, in any relationship, but especially with your partner, it's a lot of work. Like I've learned, because I've come from a broken home and I've seen relationships that don't last, I didn't know how much work it takes to be in a relationship.
A healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I approached you. Remember that one day that you were referring to? I think that's why I approached you and told you, I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Like, it is not my intention isn't to always argue.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a hostile environment where we should be relaxed.
Yes.
And I think that's why I wanted to come up to you, is because I was like, let's talk. Mm-hmm. Let's not yell. If I calmly go to you, you're going to calmly talk to me. Mm-hmm. And you did. Mm-hmm. I was really proud because I was expecting you to go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And
I can.
Yeah.
I think, but I've also learned to choose my battles when I need to. And that was a time not to. I just needed to listen.
Yeah, and I think we're like just getting to know everything, and we're doing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think like what you mentioned is a healthy relationship is to learn each other's quirks, right? I know that as a friend to you, that I'm gonna annoy you. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do with my relationships, like with my guys. I annoy them. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to, but even when let's say we're watching a movie and I'm like this, and you're like, leave me the fuck alone.
Because you do, you do.
I do, but I think it's
so. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is it like I don't want to say a tick, but like something that comforts you? Is that?
I think it's my love language.
Okay.
Touch is my love language. Mm-hmm. If I touch you, and I just mean like my vibration onto yours.
Well, it's touch what you do. And then there's touch, like, it's like still, like, you're not moving.
Like, Yeah.
I'm
There's one
just
time
like-
she was driving, and I'll do this all the time. I'll go, and she's like, leave me alone. And I'm like, it's okay. This is called touch.
Oh, you called this is no, you said something else. You're like, it's okay.
I was
I know
like,
what
what
you
did they
said.
do to you?
How bad were you?
I know. But it's because I do it with Bianca, and that Bianca, and I do it with Rosa. Rosa
Doesn't care.
Rosa
She loves
doesn't
it.
care.
She loves
She
it.
don't fight it.
Mm-mm.
But I think because she knows that that's my love language.
No, I think in general she's just that type of person.
Yeah.
She loves attention. Not in a
No,
not
she does.
Well,
She
yeah,
does.
not in a way where she's like, oh, let me go seek it.
No.
But if you give it to her, she's like, yes. Anyways,
I know. I
Yeah.
am pretty. I'm
Yeah.
like, you cannot pay that bitch a compliment. But anyway,
But anywho, she's okay with any type of touch.
yes, it's not
I'm
like
not.
this one.
Mm-mm.
I should have put it down here. There you go. There you go. I'm the same way. No, I'm not the same way. I love being like kissed or told I love you. I
Yeah.
like those kind of things. But I've noticed that it seems to irritate sometimes because I'm doing it the wrong times.
Me?
Me.
Oh, you. Okay.
They could be coming out of the shit. I'm like, babe, tell me I love you. After their buttholes like this, I'm like, tell me I love you. Babe, did you miss me? And it's me just messing with people.
Yeah.
It's not me meaning like, I really want you to tell me that in the shit or you were missing me. No, I could care less. But I know, I know how to agitate people.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And
Mhm.
and it's weird with the people that I love to agitate.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I'm sure there's something wrong there.
There is because I don't know how many times I've told you, "Ya cállate, leave me the fuck alone.
She could be like, cállate los hocico, ya, be able to. But
Don't
Bianca
touch me, don't. Yeah.
and Rosa are the same way. Maybe not Rosa as much, because Rosa, I remember she would be watching TV,
Uh-huh.
and I would just right there lay next to her, and I would hug her, and her parents would walk in, and I was like, what?
Because it does look weird.
It does.
Remember when?
But I don't care. I don't care
You
what.
and I think it was the time that you were sick, and you did not leave my freaking room, and I was like, bro, you need to leave my room. You and I like watching way different things. You
Yeah.
and I are like so different yet alike. And my son passed by, and he's just like, that's weird. You and I were like so close together.
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of laying, sitting type of deal.
It's
And I
that
was just like-
neediness of me. I'm telling you, it's that part. But
I
what?
thought it was, yeah.
And it's something. So what else do you? What other things? traits do you have?
Toxic traits. I hate it, and to this day I hate it. If I call you, call me back. If I text you, text me back. I hate it.
So it's an immediate argument.
It's an immediate argument. Immediate.
Is it just with your partner or with anybody?
I almost with anybody, but more with my partner.
Okay.
I'm like, you better answer me. You better give me something. Hey, I'm busy. Okay, talk to you later.
Yes.
Okay, but hijo, it irritates the fuck out of me. And my mom's the worst. My brother and my mom. I
That
was
could be like a
"Ya me morí?
generational thing.
Ya me
Yes.
morí?"
You know, that's funny that we just had a disagreement with Bianca and myself.
Really?
Yeah, and
Okay.
but disagreements with her,
No, I know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
are
I know.
very calm.
But it's just so weird because you guys are so like you're so soothing with her.
Yeah, oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, Bianca, can I have some of that?
Well, she earned the soothing. You know what it is? She's earned the respect of soothing. It's
Yeah.
because along the years, she's like, I don't like when you speak to me like this. But remember that sometimes I'm just so theatrical
Yeah.
that all she's telling me is just bring the theatrics down.
Yeah, because she's so soft spoken.
And she'll stay steady that
Yeah.
way. Steady. She won't change from it. And she'll tell you, I don't like the way you're speaking to me like that. And you know with that tone, I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, my bad. But yes, we had a disagreement, and it had to do with that. Is that she took something and I'm not going to discuss it, but
Yeah,
she
yeah.
took something out of proportion, right?
Okay.
And I explained that it fell back to that day,
Okay.
to the moments that you were saying.
Mhm.
I said, I was attempting to make an effort
Mhm.
by calling and texting.
Uh-huh.
And every time there was an excuse with it.
Okay.
I'm busy, I didn't see it. And sometimes I wouldn't get a response for 2-3 days
Yeah,
later.
you would tell me. Yeah.
And so that to me was it's almost like you're saying, I love you, but not enough.
Okay.
And so I think, anyway,
Yeah.
and I think that's another toxic trait of mine is that, like cards, when somebody gives me cards, I cringe. I cannot stand cards, especially if you tell me to read it in front of somebody else. Like, read it so you could see a reaction.
I don't like that. I hate.
I hate
I don't
those
mind
too.
the cards. Just don't. I don't like to read it in front of people.
Let me just have my own privacy.
I don't know why.
Like, Alicia didn't push it on to me.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to read it, and she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But I read it today. Look, it takes me a minute too. I don't want to read them either. But I read it today and I was like, it's cute. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's
I mean,
really
I like,
sweet.
because, so when my work bestie had given me one at Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to read it. And I said, okay. And I just put it in my backpack. And she goes, could you read it right now? Because there's a purpose. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was just like, oh, shit, because we were going to the pool and it was a whole thing.
Oh,
and I
that was really sweet.
I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, thank you. And I got a little bit emotional and I was just like, chingao. This is why I don't like to read them.
Me either. It's because when I was younger, they would tell you to read it.
Yeah.
When you're younger, and I was like, I don't want to.
For me, it's like, it takes too much time. Let's go on to the next person.
And then it's like they want you to if you don't react the correct way, it's most like you're ungrateful.
Yeah.
I cannot stand. I'm like, bitch, just give me the fucking card.
Because there's some people that you're just more, you have more of a connection with than others. So
yes.
You'll be like, oh, okay, thank you. And some people, oh my God, like, you know what I mean?
Correct. Like Bianca, she has switched her cards because she knows I cannot stand cards.
Okay.
She no longer gives me cards with words. She used to give me paragraphs.
Where she was writing it or where it's already on there?
No, she wrote it. And I was like, oh my God. Can't you just fucking tell me I love you in person? But
she probably does.
And she does. But what she did switch is now she sends me like cards of Noah, her dog.
Uh-huh.
And he'll be dressed like in a little and it's just
those
like
are cute.
yes, you're having a puppuccino thinking of you, something like that.
That's cute.
That to me I like it.
So it's almost like a joke.
Yes, it's a cute. Now that I'll take because it's a photo.
Yeah.
I don't like to keep photos, but I love things like that.
Yeah.
Because that to me is thoughtful. But yeah, I have a lot of traits.
So how about yourself? What's another? The texting back. Is that something that like where you cringe?
So the texting back, I always it does bother me. That's why. But I'm gonna keep it right here.
Okay.
Because I think that's not fair. You want me to respond to you, right?
Yes.
It's my time is as important.
Yes.
I always say that my time is as important as yours. If I took the time and I saw this on a TikTok and said, I'm tired of responding because there's supposed to be a perfect time to respond.
Really?
Yes. Some people will, and I'm like that. Okay. I will take 30 minutes to an hour so I don't seem needy. So I will take my time to respond, but not anymore. If I get a message, I'm like,
yeah.
Unless it's like a follower or something like that. Because I get those and it gets overwhelming. So I have to mentally get prepared for those.
Okay.
But not for you guys. I'm like, right back. Yeah. Unless I'm on a flight and I can't see it. Yeah. Then I don't respond until I see it. But anyway, I told myself, I'm no longer waiting anymore. If I see it, I'm going to respond right away. I don't care if it's too quick.
Yeah. No, I respond. Especially with I have a friend right now that's kind of going through it. And I don't always... we don't always message each other, but when he messages, I try to make sure that I respond because of the background that he has. So if I do it with a person that I haven't seen in a while, then I do it with everybody else. But I try to stay on it. And if I don't, it's because I'm super busy. That's the only time I don't respond right away.
Me too. That's the only time that I don't respond. Is it like we were at a funeral, we were at a party, and I try to put my phone away.
Yeah.
If I'm on a date, for example, I put my phone away.
Yeah, because you've told me that before, but
yeah.
It's more of a the few times that you have gone to where you're out and about, I'm just like, are you okay? Like whenever I couldn't do your meet and greets with you, I was just like, are you okay? And you're like, yes, I'm fine. And then I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, because I know, I'm going to call you and I'm going to be like, oh my God, guess what? But it's the simplest things like that I'm like, thank you for remembering. Just to even check up on me. That to me means a lot.
Yeah.
I've been on my own for so long that I know what it is to be by myself and I love it.
That's why even when I go shopping or whenever you're here and I just leave, that's when you know, okay, she needs her time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
even though I'm like, where are you going?
Yeah.
Because it's just it's a habit of mine to do. Like Justin, he was busy doing some stuff, right? And he took a shower and I heard botas and I said, is those botas to go to work or is those shoes? I couldn't make it out. And I was like, where are you going? He's all, to work. Because you know how and I was like, oh, okay, bye, have a good one. Like, that's it. But you could tell that they were boots and, he wears that to work. But to me, I asked because I also, in my head, it is so weird. In my head, if it's something, like, let's say you were going out with, ¿cómo se llama esta?
My work bestie?
Sure, we'll say your work bestie.
Yeah.
If you were going out with her, I'm like, oh, okay, in case they get drunk, I'll have to call. I'll have to stay up. Yeah. Mentally, I have to be ready. So my brain's like, get ready in case she does call.
Yeah.
Unless I hear, like, you're like, oh, no, we're taking an Uber. Then I'm like, oh, good night, bitch. But that's the only reason I ask is for those things. When I get needy, I'm also very protective.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that.
And I don't like being too protective because I feel like it doesn't give me the chance to breathe. Like, that's another trait that I've been in relationships and I've had them bark at my ex. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, ready to go, hey, what are you doing? But really, in reality, I should step back. And now I try and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Let me assess the situation because, people are crazy nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, my biggest one has to be being needy.
Okay.
Being, I think it's the rejected part.
Yes, I do not take rejection well at all.
I do.
I do not, because so I know this stems from, me growing up the way I said, my dad wasn't there most of my life. My mom was there, and either she was there or she wasn't there. It'd be where she was working too much or she, started living her life at some point, what I mean? So it came from that. So the only, this is why I'm also close to my ama. It's because that's the only one that I felt that gave me the attention.
Me too.
Yeah. So that's why, like I said, my ama wasn't perfect, but the attention was always there. And even with my grandmother, the attention was always there. So that's why I was so, it was hard when I lost them.
Me too. I think this is a similar part that she was referring to earlier, is that I was the exact same way. I would choose grandma over mom any day. Any day.
My grandma could do, mi ama could do no wrong. My mom could, but my ama couldn't.
Me too. I was like, I don't give a fuck. My grandma said no, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And because I knew that at a given moment, my grandma would pick me up like that. She didn't have a car, but she would find something.
Yeah.
She would find somehow how to get to you to get bringing back. I'll do some stupid shit in my life. But there has been times that I have worn out some of my exes because of stepping boundaries or whatever the certain situations. I don't have a lot of boundaries.
I don't either, and I should.
I think I should.
Which now that I started setting them, some of my family is not used to it.
Oh my God. And yours, I knew was going to take a while to get used to it.
Yeah, they're not used to it, especially that it's always like picking up the phone and, okay, I'll try, or okay, I'll be there. And now it's more of because like I said, I love my family, but it's a very, it's a lot. There's a lot of different.
It's draining.
It's draining.
I see you drain every single time you get off a call, and I'm like, why are you not setting boundaries?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard because
It's hard
you love
because,
your siblings.
Well, that and because I was that mother figure for them, and I still am. That's where the boundary comes in. Where okay, you guys, all of them are in the stage in their life where they're old enough to. If you're old enough to make your decisions as far as either moving with a girlfriend, having kids, getting a car, so on and so forth, then at that point you're old enough to make your own decisions and don't call me anymore. Or if you call me like, hey sister, what's up? Like, just check on me or take me out or let's go have dinner, things like that. And a lot of the calls aren't that. Or I don't get no calls at all. So
you get calls, but they're only calls for last minute things.
Yes, or I don't get any at all, and it's like, hey, are you still alive, brother? Like, chinga, what are you doing?
Oh, I can see that.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think it's because it's an unspoken thing I've seen with yours, is that it's an unspoken thing that the boys normally tend to like veer off.
Yeah.
The women have always been like that. Yeah. My family too. The women were close at one point to where any movements they made together.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yes. And it used to be that way because I think if I wasn't the one creating events or my other sister, then it kind of wouldn't happen. Yeah. But I feel like families should be okay with what I'm doing now and not. I feel like sometimes it's the fear of missing out. FOMO, and then there's also like, oh shit, she's creating boundaries, and
that's a real thing. Yeah. I think even setting boundaries with a partner is something I don't know how to do yet.
Same, well, for one, because I haven't been in a relationship, and for two, it probably would be hard to set those boundaries. Like, no,
is it because you're afraid of rejection?
Yes,
I am too. Yeah. Hold on, not now. I don't think I would do that now. I think now I've grown into my skin that I allow myself to say, I also deserve peace. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be molded for you. I remember when I was with one of my exes, I would start dressing like him. And I get it. That's normal. You start matching and whatever. But I started dressing to the point where it no longer became my style.
Yeah, it wasn't yours.
No, I was wearing like these hoodies and...
So it was more subconsciously than you actually like.
No, I think sometimes it was consciously.
Oh, okay.
I was doing it because I would see my clothes that I would normally wear. Yes, and then I would see a jacket that was similar to his and I would pull the jacket because it wouldn't cause rifts. Because if somebody told me something, and his family was very disrespectful like that. If somebody told me something about my outfit, mind you, I was by myself, living by myself with him in a situation.
And it was just you. Yes. Nobody else to defend you.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And he was one of those that was not going to speak up to his family and tell them like, that's wrong. He'll say like, oh, you guys behave, but that's it. I would have a mouth to say, no, that's the Corina in me. That's Corina's my mom who passed. She wouldn't let that happen. So I know that I have part of that where I would be like, no, I don't. So instead of doing this, I would choose the easy route.
So not to have the argument.
Correct.
But it also puts you in a bad place too, because it's just like you can't be yourself without an argument. And why does it have to be an argument? And just accept me for what it is, like whatever clothes I have on.
Can I talk to just to kind of go on to a different little direction for just a second? I've always been doing that since I was little. I've dressed like myself because my grandmother gave me the permission to explore. Mm-hmm. And she was never disrespectful about it. I remember in high school, I wanted this big old Jinkos. Jinkos, if you're out there, sponsor me.
If you guys are still...
okay, they still
have a warehouse?
They still are. They're expensive though.
Okay.
But she never made fun of me. She didn't understand it probably. Mm-hmm. But she got me my platform shoes, my Jinkos, elephant ear, bell bottoms. She got me the fitted, shiny shirts.
I never understood fashion.
I never understood it to the point. I
To
just
where I
wanted
could
to explore.
I didn't understand it to explore.
Oh, okay.
Like, because growing up with a single parent and my mom not being able to afford a lot, and then I was a chunkier girl than my sisters. I didn't have. Now I think I appreciate it more. I still don't always understand it because I know it's more of an artistic thing, and I'm like, okay, I don't get the vibe, but I get it's artistic.
She stares at me.
No. Like, just in general, like, when we're out and about, and I am like, I don't get it, but I mean, it's art. I see it as art.
I try to see it as art too. Sometimes it's chaotic art. I feel like sometimes it almost represents who they are. Like how chaotic their life is also explored in through this. I get it, some people. But anyway, back to the thing of what I was trying to say with my grandmother. She allowed me to explore in that sense that I never felt judged. But with everybody out and about, I always felt judged.
Because they didn't get it.
No, and they always made fun of me. I remember one time I was in Los Angeles, California, and I went with Rosa and someone else on a senior trip, just us three. And I was standing there because I wanted to go to the bars. Rosa didn't want to go. Okay, I get it. I was going to go by myself. Don't tell me no. I go to the bus stop and I'm waiting there, and the first time I hear maricon. Hey, maricon! Which means faggot. And to me, it completely caught me off by surprise. I couldn't tell you exactly what I was wearing. Metallic silver pants. They weren't like bell bottoms. They were just, shiny, exactly. And I had a black fitted shirt, and that's it. And then some boots.
Kind of basic.
Basic for me.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what you meant. Basic for me, but to them, it automatically stood out. And this was back in 2020. Sorry. 20. I was going to say 2020. I just graduated. But no, it was back in 2000 that it caught me by surprise. That was the first time that it caught me by surprise. Every other time, guys will look and laugh and point, and I don't give 2 cents.
Because in high school, you didn't have. I don't feel like you. But then again, I didn't always hang out. But I felt like the guys always gravitated to you in a funny, like, they flirt with you, but like almost like in a joking way.
Correct, because I knew how to play around. Yeah. I knew how to change it. I would always push. I still push it too far. Yeah. To where guys sometimes are like, I completely get it. But that's just me joking around. Yeah. That's not me trying to make you uncomfortable, but that's how I play.
So that's probably why it caught you like completely off guard.
Correct. From a fucking stranger driving by, yes. But to me, those trades tell me more about me. At the end of the day, they tell me what I need to work on.
Okay.
Like now when I sit in my silence, I tell myself, please accept that if they have to go somewhere and they want to go by themselves or with their friends, it has nothing to do with you.
Okay.
It has to do with their peace and their space.
Yes.
They want to enjoy their space without me, and that doesn't mean they're leaving me. It means I'm okay.
Yeah.
Here. And that's I don't want to get in a relationship until I know that I'm ready.
Yeah, because I'm it's harder for me to love than to be loved. So it's harder for me to love somebody because of all that I've been through in life, that it's harder for me to trust and love than it is for them to love me.
That's heartbreaking though. To me it's a sad statement because I feel like you haven't progressed in maybe seeking that there's more to it. Because you and I do deal with the certain things the same. I don't think we deal with them anymore the same. I feel like you still carry your anger with you. I don't. I get upset from time to time, but I don't care. I try not to carry that anger with me. Like when I do something, I try to do it with a little more compassion. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying it spews out more.
Yeah.
And I could see that it's going to spew out sometimes from into a relationship.
Yeah, that's why I'm not like I'm nowhere near ready.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing is the biggest factor is trust.
Oh.
Trust. If I don't see it from you, then there's no point. And I'm not even close to being there to even trust oh, hey, can I have your number? Like, not even that. I'm like, oh, you're probably just around, or you probably just want a one night stand, or you probably, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I see it.
I swear, I was just thinking this like a day or two ago.
Okay.
I was thinking the exact same. Oh, I was at on a layover. Currently, I'm a flight attendant with this episode. And
as if you're not going to be when it comes out.
No, I'm saying currently, like in the future, because I get to watch these later on and say, look, I used to be a flight attendant.
Yeah, okay.
So currently, I was in a layover in Tennessee, and I was waiting for my food, and I'm watching people, and I was
I'm
that's
such
nice.
a people watcher.
Me too. I like it. But what crossed my mind was I wouldn't even know if somebody's flirting with me.
I do not know at all.
Me either.
At all.
Me, because I think, oh,
I'm like, okay, bye.
You don't want to talk to me. You're not interested in me.
Yeah.
You're interested maybe in someone I'm with.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. Excuse me. But that's my thought process. And I think that's something that also is my own personal, ¿cómo se llama?
Issues? You like your...
No, well, that's something I need to work on. Because I don't think that I fully dealt with the fact that I am a good-looking guy and I'm worthy of it, but there are times that it seeps into my thoughts, and I think they're not interested in me.
Because I'm very alpha female, very. So I feel like I'm too strong-headed, and sometimes I feel like I'll demasculate a man because of. I mean, I have my own home. I have my own. I pay my own bills, so therefore, other than what you need a man for, that's it. So I feel like, oh well, I'm too alpha male for them. They can't deal with me.
Maybe that's also like a toxic trait as well, because not saying being independent and strong-headed. No.
Yeah.
But there's times that I feel like there is a nice balance.
And right now there isn't, because I wouldn't know any other way until that man that comes into my life is wanting to say like no, like kind of shake me from my
correct,
and say no, like I do love you, I do care about you, I want to make this work, like let's create that healthy balance, let's create those boundaries.
But I think you're doing a really good job in like just working with us, like knowing that we're just like when you toned down that when I came to you for that one argument, you came to the level and you understood, oh, he's trying to just talk.
Because I didn't want my home to feel like very like, oh, it doesn't feel homey, it doesn't feel welcoming. I didn't want that. So,
but I think it's also something you're not praising yourself for.
Which is?
You stood there and you let me talk.
Oh, yeah.
And you heard me out as well as I think I did the same for you.
Yeah.
And that's something you should praise yourself about, because you just said, I don't think I could because I'm too... But the reality is, look at how you were able to have a conversation with me and listen.
Because we're friends. Because we're best friends. So
yes, but the same instance,
but
I think you could do it with somebody else.
I probably could, but there's that difference, because I know at the end of the day, no matter how big of an argument or how small of an argument or whatever big disagreement we have, I know in the end, either we work it out or we don't.
Correct.
Like, you know what I mean? And with relationships with men, it's either like a cutthroat and I'm done. You know what I mean?
That's different.
That's a
that
difference.
is different.
That's,
I think that's something you can work on, because I see that you're seeing it for what it is. At least you're realizing, like, it's black and white with me, and I'm done if I'm done. Right?
Yes.
And I'm not like that when it comes to a relationship, because I want to work through it.
Yeah.
I want to discuss something. Like, that's why I work it with the relationships that are my longest ones. So whenever I do get a relationship, I have one best friend and she's married. And they talk it through. Sometimes they bump heads like normal people. But they talk it through and they never disrespect each other. Never. He never tells her you're a bitch or a whore, nothing. But he tells her like, I don't know what to do. And sometimes he can't phrase certain things, but he'll say like, I'm lost.
But they want to put in the work. There's
Correct.
a difference, you see. When somebody doesn't, you're just kind of like, okay, well, let's just cut it off.
Yeah, but when you're talking to somebody that you're really interested in,
Well, yeah, of course.
I think you'll do the exact, what I'm trying to say is you'll do the exact same thing you did with me.
Yeah.
And that's progress for you because you stated, no means no with me and I'm done.
Yeah.
And I don't think my intentions weren't like, I want to argue with her and I want to be right. No. My intentions were just, let's talk this through. It's getting weird. But I feel like you have it in you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cycle, right?
So are you toxic? Are you semi-toxic? How do you see yourself?
I think I have toxic traits, like all 55 that I mentioned.
But I don't feel I never really saw you in a relationship, so I never understood, because Rosa is tóxica.
Yes.
You gotta love her, but she is. That's
I love her, but I don't want a relationship like that.
So that's what I'm saying. Are you?
Not saying that she doesn't have a good relationship.
No, she has a good one.
But I wouldn't want to have that one. That one is hers and hers alone. I don't want somebody like that.
Because it's so weird,
Not her, but because the way they are with each other, I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. But I think I do have toxic traits, and I think they can be managed.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Because there's just some that are just toxic guys. No, you can't go nowhere.
Yes.
No, you pay the bills. No, I want your money.
And I see that all the time, on these flights.
And they better buy me.
Yes. And I just saw a TikTok today, and it's really weird how we romanticize toxicity. I don't know if that's a word. Being toxic.
It's even like all over fucking women's cars. Soy tóxica. Get out of here. I'm like, why would you want? But
so it was a white
haters all over them.
That's a different. That's an insecurity. That's a different insecurity.
Yeah.
But I've noticed. I saw this TikTok, and the guy was with the girl, and mind you, they were really, really close.
Okay.
And his hand was like this, holding hers, right, like right here.
Does that bother you?
No.
No, like, should it be like this?
No, no. Me vale verga eso.
Okay.
But there's a lady, I think it was a church or something. Okay. She was saying hi. She went to her first, and then she was gonna say hi to him, and she went. She was pissed. She did this. Look, give me your thing. She went with the hand he's shaking. Oh my God! Well, he ended up taking it off and went like that to be respectful to her, and she went. Immediately. I mean, she did not care that the Lord was right next to her. She went straight to being angry. I was like, I'm so sick of those toxic relationships. I'm sick of those.
That was a terrible one.
That's the thing that we mentioned.
Because with the first relationship, it was like being needy. And I wanted to be with him all the time. And, oh my God, do you love me? And am I good enough? And the rejection. And with the last one I was with, I was just like, oh my God, I'm not needy. I'm not jealous until you make me jealous. Because then you start shoving girls' pictures in my face. And of course, then it becomes an issue. Because now you made me upset because you're doing it on purpose. You're
to get a reaction.
To get a reaction.
To an argument.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's just like you wanted me to react. So of course,
Well, you got it.
Yeah. So then I gotta be able to. That's where the boundary is created.
No, that's unhealthy. Yeah. I don't like that.
So being in an unhealthy relationship and where it was constant controlling, I hate control. I like to be in control of situations, but not of the person. If that makes sense.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because I would hate for a man to be like, no, you can't go nowhere. No, you can't do this, and like the whole TikTok that you were talking about. I don't like that because that you can tell it's unhealthy from the beginning, whether it be him or whether it be me, and I didn't like it.
Because I always think it doesn't matter how close you are to this human being, right? There's gonna be a time that they're being by themselves. I don't care that you watch them all day, you track them, do all that good stuff.
And tracking
If
is another
there's-
thing.
yes.
Híjole.
They're gonna find a way to do
cheat.
it. They're gonna
No,
cheat.
They're gonna cheat.
They're gonna do it. I feel like you gotta let that man go, honey. But also, I see these behaviors and I'm like, I wouldn't want to be with a woman like that. Not that I want to be with a woman, but you know.
But same, I would hate to, like, I see these women and how they act, or men, and I'm just like, I don't want to be in. I'd rather be in a healthy relationship, and they're like, whether it be a woman or man, they're gonna cheat. So it's either they love you or.
I just want to be in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And by healthy, I have very specifics of what healthy means.
Mhm.
I have examples of what healthy means to me, but I want to be able to bring that out of somebody. I want to bring the good out of somebody, not the bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to get in a relationship and then I'm like,
because I was in a really dark place.
and I think we all were.
Almost, yeah, survival / like not wanting to be. Yeah, it was. Oh my God.
But we could go into a tangent about that for a long time. But I think we talked about it too.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
But I think it's something that I do need to work on. I'm not saying I do not want to work on these toxic traits because I want to be able to be like, bye, babe, you're going on vacation with them. Bye, have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do nothing because I have my own life as well.
Yeah.
But with that said, thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. That was another episode of That's a Dude in a Dress. This is
Melissa,
also known as my Alexa. But thank you so much for listening. Watch, follow, do all that good stuff. Thank you for everything. Dame un besito. Because we gotta go, honey. Bye. I think we'd have gone into another tangent.
we did.
I was like, oh no.